Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. I have another Mother's Day card for you, but this time it's from the Welcoming Window Bundle. These are the dies I'm going to be using out of this set. It not only cuts out this window frame, but the shutters, a pair of shutters, the window box, and this picture here. To save time, I've already pre-die cut my dies that I'll need for this card. A flower with this outline and two of this outline. The shutters, the window frame and the flower box, 3 pots, and the shutter hinges. The cardstock you need for die cutting is Whisper White, Cinnamon Cider and Crumb Cake. I cut a template from this cardstock so I could stamp and position the flowers in the stamp here. It's a 2-step stamping stamp, so I did that really to save time. To create a template, all you have to do is just stamp on here and then die cut it afterwards. To find the right placement for the second stamp of stamping with the flower centres, I actually stamped it on clear acetate sheet until I was happy with the position, so that I wouldn't spoil lots and lots of cardstock. If I stamped it on the acetate sheet, I could then adjust my stamp accordingly. So I've done that already, so I don't want to mess it up. So I'll just leave it as it is. So this is the layers for the card. The card base is in Crumb Cake, and that's been cut at 8 1/4 inches by 5 7/8 inches. That's 21 centimeters by 14.85 centimeters. So the matte layer for the card front is 5 1/2 by 3 3/4. You need 2 pieces of that, one for the front of the card and the other one for the inside. Then you need a layer that is in So Saffron, and that one is 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. That's 13.7 by 9.2 centimeters. It's the same for the basic white, which will go inside here. And then the last one for the card front, layer 3, basic white. This one is 3 1/2 by 5 1/4, so that's 8.9 by 13.3 centimeters. I'm going to attach this so that I don't lose the pieces. So I'll just pop that on the card front. And I've added an extra layer here is to counterbalance the card, otherwise it will be too top heavy. The inks I'm using are So Saffron, Crumb Cake, Poppy Parade, Just Jade and Cinnamon Cider. The other items I need is a Crumb Cake marker, a Wink of Stella pen and the Pearls Basic Jewels. We also need the brick and mortar embossing folder, and to make the roller blind I use the papers from the Flowers for Every Season, and I chose this pattern. I also use the rectangular postage stamp punch to give it this scalloped edge down here. So let's prepare the roller blind. I'm just going to punch this out, emboss this piece, and I want the brickwork running horizontally, so I shall put this in sideways, like so. We need the platform 1, so just the grey platform 4, and I'll run this through the machine and I'll be back. I'm just going to grab the sponge dauber and just run some ink over these bits here. Bring in my trimmer and I'm going to do a bit of scoring, say at 1/4 of an inch. Run it down to the second notch. And another one, sort of 2 notches on here. Reinforce the lines. So I'm going to run a bit of adhesive on the bottom here to stick it down, and one on the back here to stick that down. Now I've applied, I've applied adhesive on the back, so I'm going to put the blind on here to make sure it's covered, like so. And then I'm going to glue it on to this piece here. And essentially I'm going to glue this bit with the shutters onto this Whisper White card piece, because I don't want the brick to show underneath it. So this is a separate piece. Glue this bit with just the teeniest bit of gap alongside the window. Now I've already put dimensionals on the back of that, so I'm just going to pop the window box underneath, making sure it's in the middle and straddling both the shutters. Then I'm going to cut away now you can see this is a unit on its own. I don't want anything from the underside to show. Next, we want to put adhesive on the hinges. Put dimensionals on the back and remove the backing tape, and now it's time to adhere that to the card front. I'm just going to ground the flower pots. Oh, I forgot to record it. What I was saying was you need to ink up your stamp like so, and because I've pre-die cut all mine, I check which is the front and which is the back of the die cut, and I make sure that the front of the die cut is on the stamp like so, put it down and then rub it with my finger to stamp them. So I did the same for all 3 flower pots. I adhered the 2 larger flower pots straight to the card front, like so. Adhere it to the side. Might slightly overlap the other one, but then this last one I want to pop up on a dimensional. So I'm going to do it half on, half off, like so. So then I can put my flower on here. So now it comes to stamping my blanks. I want to put a magnet there just so the cardstock won't move, and place these blanks in the aperture. Ink it up with the Just Jade. Switch my plate around And now I'm going to ink it up in the So Saffron. And this one in the Poppy Parade. Put it back into the hinge and then stamp. I need to stamp another one of these, so then I can cut it in half and pop them in the pot. So I need to stamp a second one of this, so ink it up and stamp that in Poppy Parade. So just a bit more stamping to do. Stamp the sentiment. I'll do it twice. One of them I'm just going to trim off. Actually, I'll do it with a pair of scissors because it's probably more accurate that way. I only want this section of it. And I stamped another because I need to fussy cut that. So angle your scissors like so and cut around the letters, moving the paper and not the scissors. Now we want to assemble the rest of the card, so I'm going to put a dimensional there and 2 on the side here. And pop that in the middle. Then I'm going to cut this one in half, put a bit of adhesive on the back and tuck this in. Now we can add the pearls. Put dimensionals on the back of this, so let's pop this on and this one. Glue on the back and we can adhere it to the card front. Like so. Give the Wink of Stella a shake and just apply it to the flowers here. And just to finish the card front off, add a couple more pearls. For the inside of the card, I'm just going to stamp here in this corner. Let me get the stamp set. You see this stamp here? You might have missed it, but this frames the side, and I'm going to do that in Crumb Cake. So I'm just going to line up the block with the edge of the paper. Always an emergency side. Then adhere it to the inside of the card. So which do you prefer, the one with the red here or the yellow? I think I prefer that one. So that's my Mother's Day card using the Welcoming Window Bundle. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. All the links to the supplies are below this video in the show more section. There are also links to my blog, Pinterest or Instagram. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll be back soon with another project. Thanks for watching. Bye.